Hi guys, Matt V's Movies back for another video, and today is part 4 of my Transformers series, where each week I'm looking at a Transformers film. So in this episode we're going to be looking at Transformers Dark of the Moon. So this was the third film that Michael Bay produced, and if you are interested in this series of videos, please go back and have a look at parts 1 to 3. The first part being like a box set, very limited edition, really nice set that is. And the second 2 videos are looking at Transformers, the first film, and Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. And in subsequent weeks we'll be carrying on the series, ending with the film Bumblebee. That wasn't produced by Michael Bay or directed by him, but it's still within the Transformers world, so we'll be looking at that film in the last series. You can find these videos if you look in my playlists. I've produced playlists now for kind of each sort of type of video. You know, you can scroll through there and have a look, and you'll find the Transformers playlist in there, amongst a lot of other video series which you might be interested in. So yeah, please go and have a look at my playlists. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to talk a little bit about the film, a bit of trivia, and then my thoughts on the film, and we'll look at the editions that I have in my collection. Okay, so Transformers Dark of the Moon came out in 2011, and it is an action sci-fi genre. It ran for 2 hours and 34 minutes. Sam Witwicky and the Autobots must unravel the secrets of a Cybertron spacecraft hidden on the moon before the Decepticons can use it for their own evil schemes. The release date in the UK was the 29th of June 2011, and it was again directed by Michael Bay. The box office was $1.124 billion, so this made a lot of money. Featured song was by Iridescent, and the film was adapted from the Transformers series. And this was distributed by Paramount Pictures and DreamWorks Pictures. So on to the cast. Shia LaBeouf returned as Sam Witwicky. This time we had Rosie Huntington. She played Carly, replacing Megan Fox. Patrick Dempsey played Dylan. Josh Duhamel as Colonel Williams. John Malkovich as Bruce. Peter Cullen returned as the voice of Optimus Prime. Leonard Nimoy as the voice of Sentinel Prime. Ken Jeong as Jerry Wang. Alan Tuch as Dutch. John Turturro returned as Simmons. And there was a little cameo from Buzz Aldrin. Hugo Weaving returned as the voice of Megatron as well. So we'll have a look at the editions first, and then we'll go on to some trivia about the film, and then finally sort of my thoughts on this film, picture and sound quality, that kind of thing. Steelbook, and this was a German steelbook which I picked up, and this was the UK release that came out for the 3D version. This was the first Transformers film to feature 3D, and it's got a nice lenticular, so we'll come on to that in a second. Okay, so this is the steelbook. It comes with a nice debossed border, and some nice embossing on the title treatment. So there we've got Optimus Prime and Bumblebee on the front. There's the spine, and on the back you've got Sentinel Prime and I forget what that character's name is. Shockwave, was it possibly? I can't remember. But yeah, open it up. Okay, so we've got, now I've actually put the 3D disc in here. I think this Steelbook didn't come with the discs, if I remember. So I've got the Blu-ray in there. Got some art cards there, we'll have a look at those. And there's some special features there as well. And that is a digital code, I believe. You're welcome to use that. It's probably long expired, but I think it works with iTunes. But you know, if you use digital codes, you're more than welcome to use it. There's inside, and as you can see, there's the German sticker. I've just stuck it on the inside. But you've got a nice picture there of Optimus Prime and Sentinel Prime. And then a lot of this is a battle that takes place in Chicago. So yeah, really nice Steelbook. As I say, picked this up. I think I didn't think it had the discs in it. I think I got it for a very reasonable price, if I remember rightly. And there's just a few postcards, which I think I picked these up on eBay, and they weren't part of this set, but I thought, you know, show them in this video. So we've got Bumblebee there, and on the back just some sort of a shot of Chicago, that battle scene, sort of towards the end of the film. And there we've got Megatron. I think this is Shockwave. I might be wrong on the character's name, can't remember. And the final one, Optimus Prime. On to the UK release, which was a 3D and Blu-ray and digital copy edition. And this one comes with a really nice lenticular. I don't know whether it's sort of picking up in the camera, but there's a lot of depth to this. So you've got Optimus Prime, and in the background you've got the sort of battle scene of Chicago. So yeah, that battle scene at the end sort of reminds me of Avengers Assemble. I don't know whether this sort of came around sort of the same sort of time, but both kind of these scenes, yeah, they seem very similar to me in a lot of ways. I don't know whether anyone else sort of thinks that at all, but yeah, just some observation there. But then we've got the spine in the back. It's just sort of telling you the tech specs, and obviously at the time this was, you know, in 3D was quite you know, sort of mainstream. Unfortunately, it's kind of sort of died a death now. I'm hoping that might have a little bit of a revival with the new Avatar 2, but who knows. Anyway, there's the inside of the BLU-RAY, same design again, and the back. And to be honest, on the inside, well, as I say, because that Steelbook didn't have any discs with it, I've just kind of kept this case, and I'll just sort of show you the inside artwork. And again, there's another digital code there. Again, if you want to use that, if you're into digital codes, it's probably non-expired, but you never know. Sometimes these things work. I think that will work with iTunes as well. And then we've got a nice shot of Bumblebee on the other side. So we'll get on to the trivia part of the video now. Despite the rumours of feud between Megan Fox and Michael Bay, it was actually Steven Spielberg who had Fox fired from this film, after she compared Bay to the Nazis. Bay was already prepping Fox for this film when she was forced to drop out. The Driller was composed of 70,000 pieces. The Driller, I thought it was Shockwave, so yeah, apologies for that. It required ILM to use up its entire render farm and took 122 hours per frame. 288 hours in the driller's attack on the skyscraper. According to Michael Bay, 532 vehicles were destroyed in the film. They were given away by an insurance company at no charge, as all of them were flood damaged. Sentinel Prime was originally meant to be coloured yellow gold, but as fire trucks are a standard red, he had to be recoloured at an expense of several $1,000s. The idea of Apollo 11 being connected to the discovery of the Transformers had been previously put forth in the Transformers 2007 tie-in prequel novel Ghosts of Yesterday. During filming in Washington DC, the 2011 Chevrolet Camaro that plays Bumblebee was struck by a Metro Police K9 SUV responding to a bomb alert. The police officer involved sustained minor injuries and Bumblebee sustained considerable damage. Filming was able to continue as there were copies of each automobile for shooting purposes. At around 1 hour and 50 minutes into the film, to film the skydiving sequence, Michael Bay attached cameras to the divers' helmets to capture their descent into Chicago. Yeah, now that was a fantastic scene, certainly in 3D. Rosie Huntington-Whiteley had no previous acting experience, apart from appearing in Michael Bay's directed Victoria Street commercials. According to Huntington-Whiteley, Bay invited her to audition and was impressed enough to cast her as Carly on the spot. Okay, so on to the thoughts of the film and picture and sound quality. So we'll start off with the picture quality. As I say, this was the first Transformers film to be using the 3D technology, and Michael Bay kind of really embraced this technology at the time. It was sort of on the back of Avatar a couple of years after that, and 3D really sort of sort of took off, and actual IMAX cameras were used on this. It wasn't done in post-production, and yeah, absolutely fantastic. 3D on this is really, really good in my opinion. So much depth. Some of the opening scenes, you get to see them going onto the moon. Now obviously that would have been used in post-production, obviously they wouldn't have been shooting it on the moon or anything, but the level of depth that you got in those opening shots on the moon service was fantastic. But it's more about the scenes later on in the film, certainly within Chicago. And as I mentioned in the trivia, there's a skydiving scene where the sort of the Marines go in, and they're skydiving through the city, and you're on board with them. It's absolutely fantastic 3D. It really kind of draws you into the film, so immersive. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. As I say, this was the first 3D presentation for Transformers, and I absolutely was blown away by it. It's the only way that I really want to watch the film, to be honest. It makes me want them to sort of post-convert the first and second Transformers film, because obviously the subsequent sequels to this were filmed in 3D, and I do have those. Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. I'd highly recommend, if you have a 3D setup and you don't have this film in 3D, it's a must purchase. It's a reference disc, in my opinion. And the picture is filmed in 240:1 anamorphic widescreen. I think there are some IMAX scenes in this as well, if I remember rightly. But certainly within 3D, I think there are some IMAX scenes as well. And you've got onto the sound, you've got a 7.1 Dolby True HD soundtrack on here. You know, it's absolutely fantastic. Again, would have been referenced at the time when it came out. You know, from memory of watching this film, you know, you've got great dialogue at the front, left and right separation. You know, you've got rear effects going on in the background. You know, so many different explosions, sounds of transforming. You know, the characters. Absolutely fantastic. I can only imagine sort of an Atmos track on this would just, you know, sort of take it up that next level. I'm sure probably they are on the 4K versions. As I say, I don't actually have these on 4K at the present time. So for me, that, you know, the three films that were in 3D, it's the way that I want to watch them, in my opinion. But I can understand a lot of people don't have the 3D now. So yeah, obviously the 4K is probably the way to go. And on to the film. Yeah, I mean, again, this is another enjoyable Transformers film. Again, not to be taken too seriously. You know, it's popcorn fun. You know, just leave your brain at the door. Really good time action film. It's, you know, the idea that they sort of took in the moon landing and that there was all secrecy behind that was, it was interesting. It was clever. You know, there's obviously all conspiracy theories about the moon landing. Did it happen and all this kind of thing? But obviously they just played on that and they tried to sort of create a story where, you know, the astronauts found a transformer on the moon. And it's nice that they brought Buzz Aldrin into it. He had a little cameo and, you know, a bit of tongue-in-cheek kind of... yeah, I think he probably had a lot of fun sort of doing that cameo. And, yeah, it was great to see, you know, sort of a real astronaut. Obviously, you know, second man on the moon, sort of being involved in this film. And, you know, it's see the third film to star Shia LaBeouf and his kind of characters, his development. You know, he's gone on to, he's come out of college and he's gone on to start work. And he goes to work for John Malkovich's character, who's a kind of really zany character. And he sort of has this office environment where there's different colours on different levels. You know, there's that sort of wacky sense of humour in there. I know you've got the character of Wang, I think it is. He seems a bit of a crazy character as well. But you know, as per the previous two films, there's that sort of zany, sort of wacky sense of humour mixed in with, you know, some quite serious sort of war scenes and battle scenes. I'm sure they've done that to sort of break up the sort of, you know, within the film. So yeah, it's I enjoyed it. As I say, it's not to be taken too seriously. A lot of fun. As I say, fantastic visuals. Michael Bay knows how to make fantastic, you know, shots and things. And, you know, you get to see the shuttle. I mean, he got special permission from NASA to film. I mean, how this guy manages to, the locations that he gets, it's quite something. But you know, he's just tried with these films to sort of create sort of, you know, fantastic locations, you know, brilliant visuals really. Yeah, just a lot of fun. That was just a look at Dark of the Moon. So you got this nice edition, the 3D with the lenticular, and obviously the Steelbook. And so I thoroughly enjoyed this film. You know, I know they're sort of daft, crazy films, you know, and probably not for everybody, but, you know, if you want something that's just very light-hearted, not to be taken seriously, just fun, action, you know, spectacle. Enjoyed the video. I'll come back next week and just give you a sneak peek. We're looking at Age of Extinction next week. Have a look at that edition, and give you my thoughts on it, and trivia and a bit about the film, you know, facts and this kind of thing. So yeah, next Saturday will be part 5. So yeah, anyway, thanks very much for watching the video, guys. Take care and see you in the next one. Bye now.